stories new at 6. Embattled Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook page.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's bid for re-election has many people talking, and not in the way you'd expect. From high-priced tickets to attend her re-election launch party to the ongoing controversies surrounding her time in office, Henyard is once again at the center of a political storm in Dolton, Illinois. And while her supporters might still be standing behind her, critics are raising eyebrows at the way she's handling things. So, the question is this just the latest chapter in her attempt to cling to power, or is she preparing for a full-blown comeback?
Well, for the first time in many weeks, Dolton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village Hall.
Let's get into it. First off, Henyard's re-election launch party was held on November 16th, and if you wanted to be part of the festivities, you had to be ready to shell out some serious cash, $50 to be exact, just to get in the door. Now, for a small-town mayor running for another term, that's a pretty steep price, don't you think? We mean, we're not talking about a celebrity gala or a red carpet event here. This is Dolton, a village struggling under the weight of financial mismanagement, with a deficit that's reportedly ballooned to millions under Henyard's leadership. What's even more surprising is that the $50 entry fee isn't where it ends. Oh no. If you really wanted to show your support, you could donate upwards of $5,000 to her campaign. That's right, $5,000. Just let that sink in for a moment. In a town where people are feeling the effects of economic hardship, where businesses are reportedly being shut down because they can't keep up with Henyard's alleged demands for campaign contributions, she's asking for $5,000 from her supporters. The irony isn't lost on anyone. The donation levels were wild, to say the least. For $35, you could be a resident supporter. But here's the kicker. That wouldn't even get you into the party. It's like a tier system designed to keep the majority of her supporters out of the actual event unless they were willing to cough up at least $50. And if you were feeling extra generous, you could jump to the bronze supporter level at $150 or go all the way up to gold sponsor at $1,000. But the real kicker? The platinum sponsor level, which required a whopping $5,000 donation. $5,000 for a local mayor's campaign. Let that sink in.
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
Now, you might be asking yourself, why would someone want to spend that kind of money to support a mayor who's been embroiled in so much controversy? And that's where things get really interesting. See, Tiffany Henyard isn't your average small-town mayor. She's been called everything from a dictator to a super mayor, and not in an endearing way. Her critics accuse her of running Dolton like her personal fiefdom, using the town's resources and law enforcement to harass her political enemies and live a lavish lifestyle, all while the village itself is drowning in debt. Let's not forget the allegations of financial misconduct. According to reports, the village's general fund balance, which was over $5 million in 2022, has plummeted to a deficit of more than $3 million under Henyard's watch. And then there's the matter of those village credit cards. It's been said that Henyard used them to make purchases at places like Amazon, Walgreens, and Wayfair, racking up thousands of dollars in expenses that many believe had more to do with personal luxuries than public service. One particularly jaw-dropping purchase was reportedly $43,000 spent on Amazon in a single day. $43,000 on Amazon, that's a whole lot of free shipping.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
And yet, despite all of this, Henyard is moving full steam ahead with her re-election campaign. In fact, she seems to be doubling down on her image as a larger-than-life figure in Dolton. Some have even likened her to a reality TV star, with her extravagant outfits, flashy makeup, and constant self-promotion. There are even rumors that she's filming a reality show because, as one resident put it, the cameras are always with her. It's like she's trying to turn the mayor's office into a stage for her own personal drama series. But while the theatrics might be entertaining to some, the residents of Dolton are paying the price, literally. One of the most telling signs of Henyard's priorities can be seen in the way she's reportedly handled the village's finances. According to a report by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was brought in to investigate Dolton's financial situation, the village's general fund has been bleeding money since Henyard took office. In just a couple of years, Dolton's financial health went from a surplus to a massive deficit, and many are pointing the finger squarely at Henyard's leadership, or lack thereof. Lightfoot's report also raised questions about the village's credit card spending, noting that receipts were rarely provided, making it difficult to determine whether the purchases were legitimate or not.
And Micah, tonight was a special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings. So that's some progress there. But this meeting was not without its fair share of tension.
And it's not just the financial mismanagement that has people up in arms. Henyard has also been accused of using the village's police force as her own personal security detail. It's been reported that she spent over $1 million on overtime for police officers who are tasked with escorting her around town, picking up her daughter from school, and even going on shopping trips with her. That's $1 million of taxpayer money being used to protect one person, while the rest of the village is left to fend for itself. One resident who spoke out against Henyard at a public meeting said it best. Did we hear any plans about safety with the new police chief? Did we hear anything about guns? No, it's about protecting her. It ain't about protecting the village. Period. The attorneys ain't about protecting the village. It's about protecting her. This speaks to a larger issue that many in Dolton have with Henyard's leadership. They feel like she's more concerned with her own image and power than with the well-being of the community she was elected to serve.
Now, an NBC 5 News exclusive, there is more controversy for the mayor of Dolton tonight. Apparently, when she caught workers removing banners with her picture on them, she called police.
And speaking of protection, let's talk about the banners. You know, the ones with Henyard's face plastered all over town, along with her self-proclaimed title of super mayor. These banners were reportedly put up without the proper approvals, and when village trustees ordered them to be taken down, Henyard reportedly called the police to stop it. She even demanded that charges be pressed against the workers who were removing the signs. Now, if that doesn't scream power trip, we don't know what does. But it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. The vendor who provided the banners claims that Henyard's administration still owes them nearly $20,000. That's right, the village that's already millions in debt can't even pay its bills for the banners that Henyard insists on keeping up. It's a mess, to say the least.
But you don't even have a sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
And then there's the ongoing FBI investigation. Yes, you heard that right. Henyard is reportedly under federal investigation for her handling of the village's finances and other potential misconduct. Subpoenas have been issued, and federal agents are looking into everything from her spending habits to her use of taxpayer dollars for personal expenses. It's a scandal that just keeps getting bigger, and yet Henyard seems unfazed. In fact, she's pushing forward with her campaign as if nothing is wrong, confident that she'll win re-election by a landslide. But the people of Dolton aren't so sure. Trustee Jason House, who is running against Henyard in the upcoming election, has been vocal about the need for change in the village. He's part of a group of trustees who have been fighting back against Henyard's authoritarian rule, and they're determined to clean up the mess she's made. House and his fellow trustees have accused Henyard of everything from financial mismanagement to using the police force to intimidate her political rivals. They've even filed lawsuits to try to block some of her more controversial decisions, including her appointment of a new police chief, which they claim was done illegally.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
One of the most vocal critics of Henyard's leadership is Trustee Kiana Belcher, who has been at odds with the mayor since shortly after she took office. Belcher has accused Henyard of turning Dolton into a dictatorship where anyone who opposes her is targeted for harassment. She's even said that Henyard ordered the police to follow her and issue her tickets while she was out of town. A clear example, she says, of how Henyard uses her power to punish her enemies. And then there's the issue of Henyard's personal finances. It's been reported that she and her boyfriend are facing eviction from their rented home in Dolton because they haven't paid rent in months. The landlord, who once considered Henyard a friend, says she's owed thousands of dollars in back rent and has even had to change the locks on the property to keep Henyard and her boyfriend out. This has only added fuel to the fire of criticism surrounding Henyard, with many people wondering how she can manage the village's finances when she can't even pay her own rent.
Does all this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me? I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
One commenter on social media summed it up perfectly. She's trying to raise her rent money that she's months behind on. It's a sentiment that's been echoed by many in Dolton, who feel like Henyard is more interested in lining her own pockets than in serving the community. But despite all of this, Henyard still has her supporters. Some residents admire her tenacity and believe that she's being unfairly targeted by her political rivals. One commenter said, "There's no way that we think Dolton is a joke. I honestly admire their dedication as to what's right. They stick together. It's clear that there are still people in Dolton who believe in Henyard's vision, even if that vision seems a little murky at times."
Just here because I'm at wit's end and I fear that I'm going to go into foreclosure soon if I can't get this matter handled.
So, where does this leave us? On one hand, you have a mayor who's been accused of everything from financial misconduct to abusing her power. On the other hand, you have a group of trustees who are determined to take her down, claiming that her leadership has done more harm than good. And in the middle of it all, you have the people of Dolton, many of whom are struggling to make ends meet, while their mayor is reportedly living it up on their dime. As the election approaches, it's clear that the stakes are high. Henyard is fighting to hold on to her position, while her opponents are doing everything they can to unseat her. It's a battle that's been brewing for years, and it's all coming to a head in the next few months. Whether Henyard will be able to pull off a victory remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure. This is a story that's far from over.
Dolton Township tonight as another board meeting got canceled because of a lack of a quorum.
And that came after a disagreement about where to hold the meeting as trustees expressed concerns for their safety.
So, what do you think? Will Henyard's high-priced re-election launch party be enough to secure her another term? Or will the people of Dolton finally have their say? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned. And remember, you heard it here first.